Ladies and gentlemen, Dragon Ball fans from all races, genders, and backgrounds from all around the world, welcome to a very special edition, indeed a very special interview here as I bring a very special guest here today to speak with us. Please give a warm welcome to the Prince of all Saiyans, the last warrior of a proud civilization, the mighty and legendary Prince Vegeta.
How do, bitches?
How you doing, Vegeta? First things first, I just wanted to say thank you for being here. It's a real honor, and I want to talk to you and being a part of this interview. I also would like to thank you for your time, and I'm pretty sure you must be a very, very busy man. But I'm sure the Dragon Ball fans, especially the fans of your work, are very anxious for us to get started. So right off the bat, my friend, how are you? And what are you up to? Because we do understand that you're training right now, and I just wanted to, just kind of see how you doing right now. So how you doing, Mr. Vegeta?
I'm doing really good. I'm a little annoyed though because my future son is annoying the fuck out of me. He's trying to get my attention. Daddy, will you notice me? No, get out of here. I'm training.
That's your son, man.
I don't give a shit. No, he's not my son. He's not my son. Come on, first of all, let's get something straight.
How are you communicating with us? Are you using Bulma's laptop to communicate with us? What's going on there?
Yes, actually, I'm using the Earth Woman's fucking laptop because she's like, oh, you need to get in for your interview. I'm like, whatever, I can do it on my scalpel, but no, she wants me to get on the computer and learn how to use this damn thing.
Well, it's actually pretty interesting because I myself never would have imagined for Vegeta to be on YouTube. So for those out there who are unaware as to what's going on, you have just recently, I believe, started your YouTube channel. So do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Well, for a long time I wanted to express myself, and I wanted to get, a lot of this stress that I have because of Goku, Kakarot, whatever you call the bastard, and Frieza and all these other things out there. I just needed a lot of, because I have so much stress, and there's only so much stress relief that vitamin P can give you, You gotta have another outlet.
No, absolutely. And in case you guys want to go on ahead and check out Prince Vegeta's channel, the link will be located down below. And again, I'm pretty sure you are a very busy man, probably using Bulma's Skype to communicate with me here today. So I wanted to ask you some questions and just kind of interact with you a little bit because I've been a fan of your work for such a long time. And many people out there want to label you as the weakest Saiyan amongst the entire race of mighty warriors. And of course, I wanted to get your take on a few things. So my very first question to you, and I know this is going to kind of dive right into your personal vein here, but what does it mean to you, and what is the value of always trying to stay ahead of Goku in strength? I mean, you've always had this natural disliking of Goku due to his natural ability of always remaining powerful, even in death. So what does it mean to you in having to always try to stay ahead of Goku?
Man, it's what keeps me going. It keeps me on my prime, It keeps me wanting to always excel and improve myself. Even though I'm weak now, I can always excel and get better. There's never a limit to how good I can be. That's one thing I will say about that. It's an important part of my life, even though I want to surpass that bastard. It's thanks to him that I improve myself every day. So, there are some good merits.
I mean, it's not just him as a person. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't like his boots, his nothing. Is there anything you like about Goku at all? Even while being friends with him now, is there anything that you've grown a liking to?
Well, the one thing I like about him is that he doesn't let shit phase him too much. He doesn't, when he's in his own little world, he doesn't have any stress whatsoever. That's the one thing I guess I envy, because I have constant stress. I have Bulma in my ear 24/7. You need to do this, you need to do that. Yeah, that would be the one thing I envy. He doesn't even have to be a father.
Well, I mean, we've even seen you grow somewhat of a friendship with him throughout the entire duration of Dragon Ball. I mean, we saw how you guys were training with the gods, and what's your experience with that been like? Because I know it kind of eats you up a little bit inside having to just kind of spar with Whis here and there. And I've no disrespect to you, Mr. Vegeta, but he kind of bitches you out sometimes. I mean, in the worst of ways. But I mean, Goku's on the same boat. So what are your thoughts on that? Because Goku's there with you. I mean, originally you were there first. So when you saw Goku come by, what were your overall thoughts on that? He just happened to come on by and.
Well, it was my idea. I was like, this bastard's always been ahead of me. Now it's my turn. So I got in there and I was like, yes, I'm ahead of you. And then here he comes, stealing in the glory, trying to take off my shit. I'm like, it pissed me off because he always is number one. What about me? What about Vegeta? I need to be number one. I need to kill somebody. I haven't even killed an MC villain yet.
Oh, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. I mean, I believe you're number one, and many people also do as well. So, and speaking of that, what would have been your overall reaction if he would have peed right where you were sweeping? Because when he first showed up with Whis, he was like, "Hey, Vegeta," and he was about to unzip his fly and pee all over the place. So, would that would have made you angry? I mean, he just did disrespecting your chores.
It would have really made me angry, and I probably would have killed him. I mean, because at that point, I was stronger than him. I could have ended it right there.
But then what happened? He just caught up?
He just caught up, I guess. I don't know. It's Akira Toriyama he changes the power level scheme.
Now, speaking of power levels, now I'm sure that many would love to know, but which one of you, between Goku and yourself, discovered the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue transformation first on Beerus' homeworld, and was it difficult to achieve? Because I'm pretty sure when you unlocked and you figured out a way how to, transform, and knowing that Goku had a very similar transformation, it must have eaten you up inside. So, I want to know your thoughts as to who you believe unlocked the transformation first, and what are your thoughts on him having the exact one when you found out that you had the ability to become a Super Saiyan Blue?
Well, I activated it first because, I was there first. I had the edge. I had ahead of him. And then, I turned blue one day, and then all of a sudden, a couple of days went by and he had it too. I was very angry because we both have blue hair. And it's like he's always copying me. Like, really, he's taken off, it's my shit. Stop copying me, Kakarot. I went blue. You stop. You stay red. You stay red. Okay?
I mean, but it came as a surprise because you never really achieved Super Saiyan God. Like, did you just decide to skip that? I mean, did you have the ability to transform?
That's the thing about me. I skipped Super Saiyan 3. I was Super Saiyan 2, so I was stronger than a Super Saiyan 3. I don't need those levels. I can skip. I use cheat codes. I'm that awesome.
So, like, are you trying to insinuate that even if GT continued, you would skip Super Saiyan 5? And maybe
definitely. I would skip
6?
that. I would definitely skip that. I'd go all the way to Super Saiyan 7.
Damn, that's. But what about if Goku caught up? What if he was like a Super Saiyan 7 as well?
That's the thing, though. You got to think about this. He goes through them. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He goes through them like that. But I skip. I skip that shit. I just skip it.
Because you don't need them, right?
I don't need it. I just go ahead. So you get that one thing about me. I skip. He doesn't ever skip. He just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
No, absolutely, and I'm pretty sure, like, I speak on behalf of the fans, when we all saw you become Super Saiyan Blue against Golden Frieza, it was a moment of justice because of your planet being destroyed, of Frieza bullying you for, like, most of your whole entire life. So I wanted to know from you, what was it like, even though it happened momentarily, to finally get your hands on Lord Frieza after having to endure all the pain and sorrow that he's been putting you through, even at a point killing you, to finally be able to beat this tyrant down, even kneeling before you for a moment right before Goku stole your moment for you. So in retrospect, how did you feel about Goku, just taking that kill from you? Because, like, you had Frieza right then and there. He was kneeling before you, and right when you were about to unleash your final attack, who comes in and steals your kill? It was Goku. So, like what are your overall thoughts on that?
Well, beating Frieza down, it felt like I had made all of my past, all of the things that I had regretted had finally come full circle, and I had finally accomplished what I had always wanted to do, and that was to avenge my father and my race. I felt so... It just felt like I had finally redeemed my pride. You know what I mean? Because I've always had a damaged pride because of Frieza. But then Kakarot came in out of nowhere and said, Kamehameha, Frieza, and just killed him, and I was just, you bastard, you stole it from me! God! I just... that's like going with a girl that you've always wanted to bang, and You're about to go in, and you're about to seal the deal, and some other guy comes in and says, nope, mine.
It's like trying to go to prom with, like, your prom date, and you go off to get a drink, and someone just, swoops on it and just, steals with your woman. I can imagine that, but, like, what was the feeling like, to have this tyrant, just down on his knees after everything he's been doing to you, after essentially killing you on Namek and pretty much breaking most of your bones and stuff, and finally having to witness him down on his knees, pretty much begging for mercy. But then he blew up the planet also, so Whis had a reverse time. Did you remember any of that? Was there, like, any recollect as to, the planet blowing up and stuff?
I don't remember any of that, but, they filled me in. But, I do remember... Frieza being down on his knees and just, oh, please, Vegeta, please, oh, God, it hurt me. I remember all of that, and it felt so good. It felt it felt like, you know how you feel when that one bully that bullied you in school for a long time, and he's always been bullying you, and you finally beat the shit out of him, and then he's on his knees, and you're just like, yeah, that's right. You fucked with me long enough.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've all experienced something, but for him to just swoop on in and do that to you, I mean, have you forgiven him for that? I mean, how did that work out?
It's forgiven now, but it's forgiven because it needed to be done. It needed to be done, because if it didn't, we'd all be dead.
But you proved your point.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely, because, I mean, we saw what happened to Goku. He had his, he had his heart shot out by Sorbet, and that was really unexpected. So, I mean, you must have been a little happy, though, seeing, Goku go down and being so gullible to, drop his guard. So, what were your thoughts going, essentially, what was going through your mind when you saw that happen?
Well, what went through my mind is, you got killed, oh God, you got beat by a gun. Great. That's fantastic, Kakarot. It's great, because I knew that he would be fine. I knew that, the senzu beans are right there, and, I mean, come on. We have Dragon Balls. We're gonna be alright. Death means nothing. Not to me. I'm just a mute. Everyone dies. Everyone dies in our show, and I've just grown accustomed to everyone dying and coming back. I mean, if Nappa came back, I'd be like, oh, God, who brought you back this time?
Well, speaking of Nappa, if he came back, would you ever, reconsider being friends with him at least? Because the guy didn't really he didn't know much at the time, and you were very angry during that time period, and you really wanted to kill Goku. So what if Nappa came back, at least one more time, and he said, hey, Vegeta, how you doing? Would you consider murdering him again? Or,
You know what I'd do? I would shake his hand, and I'd give him a smile. And I'd say, hey, what's that over there? And he would turn, and I'd kill him.
So you would never... You would never want to be friends with Nappa ever again.
I don't like him at all. I didn't like him when I was younger. I mean, the only reason I kept him around was because I made fun of his bald head. He looked like
right,
Mr. Clean.
He never grew hair.
Well, yeah, he did have a mohawk at one point.
What happened to it?
I don't know. He always had I just made fun of him. That's really the only reason.
Forced the man to shave his head. I mean, speaking of people that you don't like, there is one person that you really, really like, and that's Bulma. So I'm pretty sure that all of us want to know, what is it like having to deal with someone like Bulma on a day-to-day basis? I mean, does she put out, often to you, or do you have to fight in order to assert dominance in that relationship? So tell us how that's like.
Well, it's a bit of it's a struggle, because there's days where I'm the dominant one. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. You will listen to the Prince of Saiyans. And then there's days where she's giving me, it used to be back in the day, I was the man in charge. I left. If I didn't get what I wanted, I left. I would go out and I would train. Nowadays, I have to take the kid to the park. I have to take her on a date. I have to do all this. I have to wash the dishes. I have to do all this bullshit. I mean, God, coming to Earth is just stress. It's just stressful.
But you're so stressed out. I mean, does she not put out often? I mean,
she does, but, back in the day, I would get it whenever. Now I get it on,
on occasions.
Yeah, on occasions, because the worst thing I hate is when a girl is giving you the eye, she wants the vitamin D, she knows you want the vitamin P, you go in, but she's like, oh no, we can't do it today, I have to go to work in the morning. Really?
Oh, they hit you with the excuse notes. It's
like, oh yeah, yeah.
I have my red friend going on down there today.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, tell us real quick, because I'm pretty sure we're all curious to know if there is a favorite position that Prince Vegeta has, what would that position be?
Oh, it's doggy.
I mean, but how is she as a woman? I mean, to you at least, because we saw how she's towards Goku. She was always mean towards Goku in a way. Goku always had a fear of Bulma. So, does she strike fear in your heart as an individual?
Oh no! Oh no! She's just the ultimate tsundere. She's just Vegeta. Fuck. She acts like she doesn't want me, but then when we get home, she's just all around me. She knows. I mean. Look, I always said this. My father always told me, if you ever find a woman, make sure she's good in the kitchen. The only good thing about Bulma is, besides I get the vitamin P, she knows how to make a goddamn good sandwich.
Oh, does she? So how is she in the kitchen though?
She's pretty good. The only thing is that she's very limited in what she can cook, but what she can cook very well.
So, is there any particular favorite dish that you have, or any sort of, Saiyan food that you would, like her to make, but she can't?
Saiyan food. We Saiyans, we will eat anything.
Anything.
We will eat anything, just about. With some exceptions, of course, we won't eat shit. But but we eat a lot of things. We eat steak. We eat egg rolls. We'll eat anything. So you would have to be a terribly bad cook for us not to eat it. It would have to be horrible. You could be a beginner and we'd still eat it and enjoy it because. We're bottomless pits. We can eat as much as possible and as anything as possible. We can eat anything.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you have to just stay on your grind when it comes to your muscle mass, because you're a very defined person. So I'm pretty sure your workouts are absolutely insane. So like what's your workout regimen like? Like, what do you do? Like, how many push-ups can you do, like, and sit-ups? Because I mean, Goku, we saw when Beerus pretty much asked Goku to do, I think it was about like 3 trillion push-ups or sit-ups, he was able to do so. So how many can you do?
I can do about 10 trillion with one pinky. Yep.
One pinky.
Yep.
That's incredible. And what about like your protein supplements? Like, what do you take?
Protein? Oh man, I don't take any really. I don't need it. I don't need any.
So you just rely on Bulma's cooking to get you through the day, right?
Bulma, that's my protein. That protein is that vitamin booty.
Vitamin P. But speaking of Bulma, she's not really around in the future. 17 years from now, we do understand that she is killed off, unfortunately. So I wanted to get your take on that, and I do understand that you're very angry when it comes to this. Now, I wanted to ask you, since we are currently within the Dragon Ball Future Trunks / Black story arc, the world wants to know, what are your thoughts on Black Goku? Being that he looks just like your arch rival, how powerful do you think he will become as we move forward in the story? And will we see the Prince wage war against this black character at some point? And do you think that you have enough power to put someone like Black down? Because we saw that Black is able to pretty much replicate and take someone else's powers and use that and embed that in his own ability. So what are your thoughts on him as an individual?
My thoughts of him as an individual is he's a piece of shit. He killed my wife, and he brought that retarded son of mine back over here to nag me. So it's, he's aggravated me already. And, I think, at some point he's going to fight Kakarot again. He's going to beat Kakarot, and I'm going to have to step in. I think he's going to get it stronger than Kakarot, and then I'm going to have to come in and I'm going to have to put him down. I'm going to do that shit. I'm going to, in a way, beating him would be like me beating Kakarot. It's going to feel so good. I can feel it.
Right? It's like a paradox.
Yes, it is, right? It makes it all the better that he's a minority.
Oh, I mean, what were your thoughts when you first saw him step through that time distortion? Because he stepped through, and I'm pretty sure when you first saw a glimpse of him, you were just like, no way, it just can't. He just can't. There's 2 of them. So like, what was your initial reaction when you saw that he looked just like Kakarot?
My initial reaction, oh look, it's another Turles.
But you are going to have the satisfaction, though, in your opinion,
yes,
that once... Because, all right, so you believe that he's going to beat Goku again?
Yep, I believe it, because Kakarot's a dummy. He always lets his guard down. He never goes in for the kill. He wants to have fun. He's bipolar, and he never, he just wants to have fun. And as soon as he's done having fun, I'm going to go in and kick ass and get it done.
But what about you? Like, what if it wasn't Goku that stepped in first? Like, let's say, for example, it was you, and you stepped in to fight Black first. Or initially you're saying that you would have just gone off the hinges and just finished him off right then and there. But what if he stole your power and he went back into the future? Then what?
Well, if he stole my power, that would have been, okay, so now he's gonna be another Cell wannabe. We all know how Cell ended, but I would just, I would get that time machine ready. I'd get ready, I'd go in the future, and I'd go back in there and get him. You know what I mean? Because, I would start off, I would gauge my enemy, play with him a bit and see where his level is, and then I would finish him. So I wouldn't give away all of my secrets right away. I'd just see what he could do, and then after I gauged him, I would just say, okay, he's about this strong, all right, die.
But isn't that kind of like your downfall? Because I mean, it ultimately went back to Imperfect Cell when you fought him, and you allowed him to become perfect. So essentially, would you do the same with Black?
Yes, because I always like to test myself. But you gotta think, Kakarot does the same thing.
So what makes you different?
What makes me different is that I think what makes me different is that the fact I like to humiliate my opponent. I like them to be down on their knees. Kakarot's more like, oh, let's both have fun. I don't do that. I want to annihilate them.
But I
want them
mean,
to-
let's say for example, you know, there is an opportunity for you to train with the gods before you encounter Black. Are you? Because I mean, we saw. I mean, you've been training with Whis for quite some time now, even at a point where you were a little bit ahead of Goku before he decided to show up. So, if the opportunity presented itself, because right now you're in the gravity room, you're doing your own thing, and I really don't mean up to take up so much of your time right now, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna go back in there as soon as this interview is over.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's
Or
no
maybe
problem.
even
Keep
with
going.
Whis. I mean, like where are you gonna go after this? Are you gonna go train with Whis, or are you gonna go back in the gravity room?
You know, I'm gonna go in the gravity room, get some reps up, gonna try to do my own thing, and then I'll probably go in and get in with Whis again. Try to get, you know, I want to stay ahead of the game, so that's probably what I'm gonna do. But if they don't want to give me the time, I'll just get in the gravity room and do my own thing.
But like, what is it like being in the gravity room now? Because I mean, we saw how you were training with Whis, and the
Yeah.
training up there must be intense.
It is.
So how does the gravity room fare up now? Because essentially, you must be very used to, you know, different tactics and different training methods. So like essentially, you know, how is the gravity room faring off to you right now? Because I'm pretty sure even at 500 times normal gravity, you must be way ahead of the game. So how do you stay ahead in the gravity room? Like what do you set the gravity to? Like 1,000, 2,000?
You know, it keeps fluctuating because each time I go in, I have new powers. So I always get, you know, Bulma's her dad, excuse me there. But, you know, I get him to re-establish the whole thing and get it fixed up, you know, so I never get used to it, you know what I mean? I have to always have it fluctuate and get, you know, it's always different. Sometimes it's over 1 trillion times gravity. Sometimes it's whatever, you know, it just always fluctuates. It
A
never
lot of gravity, man.
Yeah.
Now, I recently roasted you in one of my episodes, although you are one of my favorite characters in the show. Have you personally seen this roast? And if so, what are your thoughts? Because bear in mind, even though it was a joke, many people took that as, you know, offensive or whatnot, because obviously I had to roast my favorite character. And the only reason why I had to roast you a little bit was because it was intended to nitpick at your performance against Hit. Now, I'm pretty sure you were very upset with Hit because he pretty much caught you off guard, hitting you at your vital points. So, what are your overall thoughts on the battle with Hit, and what could have you done to pretty much prepare yourself against someone like that? Because he was using the Tokitobashi technique against you, and you really didn't have an understanding. So how was that experience like when you first came, you know, one-on-one against Hit?
Well, to answer your first question, I did see the video, and I just took it as a compliment. I laughed. It was really good.
Oh, thank you very much.
With me, you know, fighting him, you know, it was... I never fought an enemy quite like him. You know, his abilities were very unique. It was, you know, if I had time more to really get engaged, you know, and if I had more information on him, you know, I think the battle would have went very differently. But, you know, it just made me realize how much I need to grow as a fighter. You know, that's what I love, is when I fight more opponents, there's always room to improve. So fighting him was a challenge. I was frustrated, but I was also excited because it was an opponent that was stronger than me. Because if there's ever, you know, I want to always have an opponent that's better than me, because if I don't have an opponent that's better than me, I don't have anything to improve on.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure you were, I mean, judging based on your expression when you saw, you know, Kakarot, you know, fare up very well against him. What did you think about that? Because Goku was able to hold his own against Hit, even pushing Hit to further his abilities and his powers. And I'm pretty sure you could have done the same if you had more knowledge on him, because Goku did have more knowledge as to how the Tokitobashi worked and stuff. So, like, what were your thoughts running through your mind when you saw Goku hold his own against Hit?
Well, I was like, man, he's ahead of me again, you know, it was just the same old feeling, you know, it was like a, you know, flashback in a way, because he's always, you know, the one thing about that guy, he sucks at life, but he's damn good at what he does in the ring, you know, he's good at fighting, he's just a gifted fighter, so seeing him do that, you know, I was just like, I was kind of, you know, memorized that he's still, you know, he's always good, he always, you know, I respect that man, I respect him as a fighter, I do.
Now, you were very pissed when you saw him adapt the Kaioken into his Super Saiyan God powers. Like what was running through your mind? Because again, after having a look at your expression, and I don't know where you guys were really far away, but the cameras and the Wi-Fi that we had watching back here on Earth was amazing. So we saw your expression. You were very angry. Why were you angry? Is it the fact that he was able to adapt Kaioken into Super Saiyan Blue? And if so, do you believe that at some point you're able to do the same? If anything, you're going to be the first person to transcend and find and reach a form beyond Super Saiyan Blue. So, like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, seeing him use that technique, the Kaioken, which I had prior, dealings with in the past with Kakarot, it was like, well, damn, he's bringing back that technique and he's making it with this form. That's so cool. I just thought to myself, well, damn, I'm pissed off, but at the same time, I'm memorized. So I'm thinking, well, I need to learn how to do the Kaioken. I need to get my ass up there to Supreme Kai, or, or somewhere, someone who knows the technique, maybe King Kai or whatever, and then learn the technique myself at this point. But at the same time, I don't want to mimic him. I want to do my own thing. Maybe I want to make my own technique, maybe call it the Kaio Vegeta. I don't know, make my own move.
I think that'd be great having the Kaio Vegeta adapted. I mean, but do you think that at some point you're going to find a level on your own? Because given the circumstance, you've been with Whis for a long time, and there was a specific scene where we saw him, talk to you about that. You at some point you were able to hit him, I guess. And I'm pretty sure Whis has been a great trainer and someone that you can really look upon, as you said, in terms of feats. And you want to measure up to those feats because he's been a person that's really been testing you guys. So do you think in your heart of hearts that you will at some point find a level even beyond that of a Super Saiyan Blue, or do you believe that Super Saiyan Blue as of right now is your peak and you can't really go above that?
Oh no, I believe I can go further. That's one thing you always got to have in mind. When you try to do anything in life, you always have to aim further. You can't limit yourself and say, I'm at my peak, this is it. Because when you do that, you can't get any better. You can't improve. So, no, I always set that bar every time. When I reach Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. When I reach Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan fucking Pink or whatever's next, I will achieve it. I will do it. I don't know what level that is, but I will always improve. As long as I never give up, and I always do my best every day, and I spread my blood, my sweat, and my tears, and all my training, I will achieve anything I want.
And that's what makes you awesome, man. We saw you transform, and we saw you improve as a character, because you were always very grumpy, and you were always very angry, but then over a period of time, you became such a nice, humble guy in a way. And what I mean by that is we saw you perform a form of karaoke within Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, which was very shocking to say the least. So will we ever witness a Vegeta concert at some point once you hang your boots and decide to call it quits one day? Because, I'd go. I'd personally... I'm sure everyone watching this would love to go. Get your tickets on Ticketmaster.com, by the way, guys. So what did you think about doing that at that time? And could we possibly get somewhat of a sample of just how good the Prince's vocals truly are?
Well, Bulma actually brought this up one day when I was gonna bring back my great singing, and do it again. Well, a lot of people have asked me, I think I might actually do a couple of songs, I might release a couple of samples and see how people react, and if people really like it, I might go on stage and make it a career, you never know. But I do have a couple of songs that are coming out. They're a little bit low-key, but they will be released, in the near future.
Can we find those, videos and samples on your channel?
You'll find them on my channel when they come up. They haven't come up yet, but when they do, they will be on my channel.
And that's what you guys need to go on ahead and do. If you guys want to see Vegeta perform some really awesome music, you guys can go on ahead and find it on his channel. Now, I want to go on ahead and just list off some names to you real quick. And I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind when you hear some of these, names. And I'm pretty sure some of these are going to rattle you up, but I'm pretty sure we all want to know. So I'm going to start with the obvious here. Goku.
Cunt.
Gohan.
Bitch.
Future Trunks.
Not my son.
Bulma.
Vitamin P.
Lord Frieza.
Fuck you.
Perfect Cell.
Wanna be me?
Majin Buu.
Fat bitch.
Beerus.
Pussy.
Champa.
Fat pussy.
Broly.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Black.
Minority.
Frost.
Refrigerator.
Hit.
Knockout.
Vegito.
Awesome.
Gogeta.
Not awesome.
Whis.
Gay.
Nappa.
Mr. Clean.
Chi-Chi.
Hot.
Kid Buu.
Nah, little bitch.
Zamasu.
Whatever.
The Elder Kai.
Perv.
and last but not least, your father, King Vegeta.
Awesomeness.
But like that's the thing, like you've never really grown a liking to your father, and I'm pretty sure everyone's curious because during the tournament we saw you speak to Kaba about Universe 6 and how they had a very similar planet, just inherited by Saiyans. So our final question here before we go, because I know I don't want to take up too much of your time. Are you essentially going to be going to Universe 6 and visiting that planet? And if you do, we all would like to know, are you going to A, claim the planet for your own and murder anyone who gets in your way, or B, are you just going to show up just to see what it's like and go home and just, get some training out of there? Like what's that going to be like?
I would definitely, I think I'm going to visit there, and just, teach them some things, because I want to help my race, I always want them to be strong. I have a very special connection with my race. Yeah, and I want to take that, I want to take all of them under my wing and help them excel. And no, I don't really want to be the king of that, planet or that race for that matter, because they're not really my home, I'm the prince of the Saiyans of my universe, and that's all I really need, I don't really need to go to another place, to establish my dominance. I already know how strong I am, and I honestly believe that part of my life is over, just randomly killing, peons for no reason. I believe that's over, it's whatever now.
And what about Kaba? Are you ever planning on kind of like training him and guiding the kid? Because he really looks up to you as a mentor. So what about Kaba in this situation? Are you ever planning on giving him some advice?
I really think I am. I really think he needs a lot of tutelage from me, and I think I'm gonna really train him. And I want to give him wisdom that no one really gave me when I was younger. I mean, I was under Frieza's rule. I was just always listening to him. I didn't really have anyone to teach me and give me wisdom. So I want to help the kid.
That's very noble. I mean, it's just crazy how you're talking to me like this, because back in the day you were just so hell-bent on being number one, and anybody who got in your way, you would literally crush them. And it's just amazing to see how these turn of events, or at least these events as of late, have formulated and made you a better person. So any final thoughts before we go here?
Well, really, I just want to say that it's been a pleasure to be on your channel. I really respect that you took your time to really call me up like this, and it's just been a really good pleasure meeting you.
No, thank you. I mean, it took everything for me to reach out to you. I had to talk to a couple of mayors in a couple of cities. I had to try to talk to Bulma, and she didn't know. She needed to talk to you. So getting to you was very, very difficult. I mean, I have to thank you so much. Hopefully after this is done, I can find a way how to reach you, because I'm tired of being a YouTuber. I really want to be a Saiyan. So if you can train me, that would be the best. Even though I'm only a human, I'm pretty sure I can assure you that I would be a lot stronger than Yamcha would ever be. So again, everybody, thank you all for watching. Please go on ahead and subscribe and check out Prince Vegeta down in the comment section, well, in the description essentially, and make sure you guys go on ahead and follow him on all of his social media platforms. Me and Vegeta will also go on ahead and collaborate later on down the road and do a couple of other projects as well. If you guys essentially want to go on ahead and see a follow-up to this, comment down below. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Subscribe to Prince Vegeta, guys. He does just tons of awesome things. I thank you guys for watching. I thank you so much, Mr. Vegeta, for being here. And on that given note, guys, we'll be seeing you all next time. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.